Hi, I'm Brodie and welcome back or welcome to my channel. I am a mindset coach for mothers. Today I wanted to talk about why it is so hard for mums to say no without feeling guilty. The reason that you struggle to say no, whether it's to your child or a family member or maybe even if it's your husband, the reason that you're struggling to say no is because you're riddled with guilt and you feel like if you say no, you're putting their needs to the side. You're harming your child in some way, or you're harming your friends' emotions, or you're hurting your in-laws, or possibly hurting your husband. What it means is that you have a moment of perception stored from previously, whether it is with your child or maybe in your childhood, whatever it may be, whoever the situation is surrounding. You have a moment of perception stored from your previous experience, and in that moment of perception, you have split. You haven't seen the full picture. You are only seeing one side. So that means that now, as you're acting out new experiences, new roles, you are subconsciously linking it back to this old experience where you believe it has more negatives than positives to the person that you perceive to be saying no to. Let's just use an example of, let's say when you were a child, your parents said no to you about something, and it might have been about having a sleepover with friends and there was 5 girls going and you weren't able to go. And so in that moment you have this perception that it was more negative than positive that you didn't get to go and experience that thing or that sleepover. And so in that moment your brain has split and you can't see that there were equally as many benefits or positives to you not going to that sleepover. When you go back to that stored perception, whatever that trigger is or that charge in your life is that's affecting your day-to-day now, you can go and clear it and bring yourself back into wholeness and seeing both sides, both positives and negatives. And what you want to do is you want to see enough positives that it equally feels level to the amount of negatives that you experienced. From that, you're able to balance out your perception and you're able to let go of the hurt or the pain in this specific situation. And again, you can do it with, let's say it's your husband and you said no to something to him before, and you feel really negative because you feel like you have let him down and there's more drawbacks to him being let down. Again, go to the moment of perception of when you let him down and you can see that your brain has split and seeing both sides. Okay, where are the benefits to me letting him down? What did that lead to? How did it benefit any area of his life? Health, wealth, relationships, his spiritual growth, all of the areas of life. That's what you want to do. And again, going to the extent where you feel it levels out to the amount of negatives as positives. So let's just say you can't think of something in your past, but now in this moment you're really struggling. I'm going to use another example, and let's just say that you have in-laws that want to catch up with you once a week and you go to family dinners on a Sunday and you feel like you can't say no and you're riddled with guilt whenever you think about putting that in place. Or maybe you have said no once, and because you said no, you are carrying this guilt where you can't say no now. So in those moments when you're feeling that guilt, you want to go to whoever it is specifically that you feel like you're letting down or has more negatives than positives, and you want to see that that person is equally getting as many benefits as drawbacks to you saying no. So again, your in-law might say, oh, I want you to come around on a Sunday. So if you're feeling guilty for your in-law, maybe it's your mother-in-law, think about how it's benefiting her life. How's it benefiting her health that you're not there? How's it benefiting her relationship with you that you're not there? How is it benefiting her relationship with her husband that you're not there? Or her relationship with her son, her grandchildren? How is it benefiting her finances? All the areas of life. So a really great example, and I know a lot of people, when you first do this work, it can feel really overwhelming and like there are no benefits, you know? But when you break it down, you can see that there are. And as you start doing, 3 or 4 benefits, you'll start to get onto a roll and see that there's actually a lot of benefits that you can find. So I'll just say an example of, let's say, your relationship with her. The benefit to her, seeing that you're saying no, she gets to see how how far you've come, how much you value yourself. She gets to hold her relationship with you on a higher degree, a higher level. She gets to see that your time is worth something, that she can't just have your time whenever she pleads. She sees it as a more valuable thing now moving forward. And then we can take finances. Now she's not having you around. She doesn't have to pay extra money that week to get more groceries. She doesn't have to spend more time in the kitchen taking care of you, providing the food for the kids. She doesn't have to spend her time cleaning up after your grandchildren. The grandchildren have been around and made a massive mess. She gets to now deepen her relationship with her husband. She gets to spend this time with him, or she gets this free moment to say, okay, what do I really want to do today? I'm not catching up with my son and my daughter-in-law. Instead, now I get to have this free day that I didn't have before. Maybe we'll go to the cinema with my husband. See, there are so many benefits. You just have to look for it and keep going as much as you can until you feel that it is equal to the drawbacks or the negatives. Guilt is something that you do not have to live with day to day. You are a free person, equally as valuable as the next. You are able to choose and pick your time and spend your time how you want to spend it. You are able to stand your ground and value yourself. You're able to say no to your children. There are equally as many benefits to whoever you believe that you are doing something wrong to as there are drawbacks. Getting clear and breaking through your guilt will only improve your mindset, your mental health as a mother, and therefore improve your relationships with your husband, your children, your in-laws, your friends, your community, even your career. So I 100% recommend that you do this inner work to improve it and to reduce the guilt in your life so that you can live a life feeling authentic to you and true to you, not riddled with guilt and anxiety and depression and everything else that keeps snowballing from there. If you need any help, I do have one-on-ones available. Please contact me on my email address below. Otherwise, feel free to leave a comment. Give this a like if you enjoyed this content. Please subscribe to see more. Thanks.